A big, rugged individual, but he can explode with that cat-like quickness as we've seen as he's punished Terry Taylor.
He's got amazing quickness for a big man, and he's a neck breaker. That's very easy. Could be it right here. All 300-plus pounds, and Taylor, at the very last instant, got that shoulder up, Pete. And Terry Taylor has really been battered in the last few moments.
Well, we've seen Taylor through the years with that ability to take punishment out, but I think Terry Gordy is going to make him prove that fact one more time. But that's Terry Gordy's strong suit, is punishing his opponent.
It certainly is. He is an offensive wrestler. And a lot of people are probably saying, well, their personalities are offensive too. Well, I can agree with that. But be that as it may, we can't discount the ability of this big man. When you're 300 pounds and can move like he does, execute as many crippling maneuvers as he can, you can't overlook that God-given talent, and he has got it. He is a blessed athlete.
If wrestling fans wonder how Michael Hayes can talk so much, that's because he's got two free birds behind him, and Buddy Roberts and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Terry, as the chant starts to kick up among the thousands and thousands of Houston wrestling fans. They would love to see Taylor upset Gordy and win the Universal Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. Gordy setting him up and goes for that sleep hold, as Taylor now trying to quickly find a way out. It's a hold that you've got to find a quick solution to, because the longer you stay in it, the better effect it takes. And right now, Gordy knows that if he can keep the squeeze on, that he could squeeze a victory right out of Terry Taylor.
He's got his mammoth frame draped over Terry Taylor, and Taylor desperately needs to get to the sanctuary of the ropes. He's barely reaching. You can see that second rope that's barely moving on the edge of the screen there. Taylor's sinking. Terry Taylor's sinking, and I don't think he's going to come out of this one unless he can get to the ropes.
He's close to the ropes, but I'm not quite sure Taylor knows exactly where he's at inside the ring. That sleep hold has been applied, and when a 300-pound big man like Gordy puts that squeeze to you, the effect could be devastating. Referee Tommy Gilbert watching very close. He knows how important that is, whether to call the break because they're near the ropes or whether to let the match continue. Gilbert checking Terry Taylor. And if Taylor's out, this match is over. As Taylor is a few inches above the ring. Raise that hand above high enough to convince the referee that she still has enough stamina and enough mental well-being to continue the match. That could help Taylor's cause. But Gordy is a veteran, a crafty champion. He's not about to let Taylor have any rest from the continuing punishment. Back to the sleep hold.
You know, Gordy's been wrestling about like 8-10 years, Pete, but he started wrestling professionally when he was 16 years old. And a lot of people don't realize that. He's in his mid-20s, but he is a veteran, just like you said. His best years are yet to come. We have not seen the best of Terry Gordy yet. I feel the same way about Terry Taylor. And we've got reporters from New York, from all over the country here covering this particular card, as they do so often here in Houston. But this is another situation where the outcome of this match is going to have a tremendous bearing on the national top 10. And I think that both these men obviously know that, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. They're giving it all. But Terry Taylor's got to do something here. He's got to get up to his feet. He's got to get turned. He's got to get to the ropes. Whatever he does, he's got to relinquish that sleep hold as soon as possible.
Gordy staying with the sleep hold, as he knows that if he keeps with it and is able to keep Taylor away from the ropes, but again, Taylor used that elbow to try to find some temporary relief. Terry Gordy, the Universal Wrestling Federation heavyweight champion, as he's showing Houston wrestling fans right now why he is the champion. 2 and almost a third count. Taylor came oh so close.
Oh, that was close.
To losing this match.
Real close.
Gordy again slapping that sleep hold on, as you're beginning to see a kind of a look of frustration on Terry Gordy's face. Most wrestlers would have been done away with by now, and Gordy's hand would be raised in victory, but Terry Taylor is not like most wrestlers.
Well, I want to compliment Gordy's tenacity is very admirable. He's got it. Now he's found something that's worked. Like Taylor had his moment earlier. He was working on the arm of Terry Gordy. Now Gordy's found something that's worked, and he's sticking with it. That's the mark of a true professional. You got a game plan. It's working. Don't deviate from it. Stay right with it. You know, don't get off track, and that's what Gordy's doing right here. And Taylor just may be out for the 3 count.
As Gordy using that sleep hold now, trying to put the shoulders of Terry Taylor. Regardless of how much fight Terry Taylor may have in his heart, there's only so much physically he can take with that sleep hold, because that sleep hold applies pressure and it cuts off the flow of blood to the brain to cause unconsciousness, as Terry Taylor trying to find a way to get to his knees. He's done that, and he's got to find a way to get out of that sleep hold and stay out of that sleep hold long enough to regain all of his capacities. I do want to remind you that the winner of this match will defend the UWF title Friday, June 27th. But Terry Taylor finally able to stop the charge of Gordy, and he used a turnbuckle, but he wasn't able to sustain it, as Gordy with that rip across the face. Terry Gordy, sometimes he doesn't resort to too many wrestling holds, but that's not his style. Taylor reversed it, and that's a big man to drop like that.
Especially when you've been punished like Taylor has, Pete. It certainly is a big man to lift up there. Boy, what a battle this has been. UWF Heavyweight Championship on the line. You're seeing it right here on Channel 39, and you're going to see the very best every weekend right here on 39 Gold. And what a battle.
Give and take, fist for fist, as both men pull off and are clobbering with their best shots. Gordy with a good reversal. Taylor with a smash into the turnbuckle, as his head smashed the turnbuckle and then landed on his head back on the mat.
Gordy threw him into the turnbuckles with so much velocity that Taylor went in head first. I'll tell you, Gordy is he's a specimen, as is Terry Taylor. What great athletes here in the UWF. And you're going to see a phenomenal battle. Whoever wins this match against Dr. Death on the 27th. And Taylor right across the railing. Man alive. The referee is really admonishing Terry Bam Bam Gordy. I got to hand it to Tommy Gilbert. He's doing all he can do, but boy, it's hard to control this big monster.
Terry Taylor down on the Coliseum floor. Universal Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion Terry Gordy up in the ring. Taylor's taking a lot of punishment. He has a lot of fight inside that heart of his, but he is only so much he can take. Terry Taylor's aware of that. Now the referee continuing the count. Terry Taylor has got to get back in the ring. You have second Pat Hatchell. They're trying to help Terry Taylor back in the ring.
Taylor won't quit. He's a fighter from the word go. What a phenomenal athlete. Now Gordy sets him for that suplex from the outside. Standing vertical suplex, and he planned. The referee's not going to allow it. Good officiating, Pete. He brought him in from the outside. He's not going to allow it. That's a good officiating maneuver.
Tommy Gilbert's been on his toes even before the match got underway. He was able to regain control after that bust up with Dr. Death. Terry Gordy missed. He aimed. He had that right fist aimed right for the face of Taylor. And as he missed, just like he missed that guillotine drop, it's given Taylor an opportunity to battle back. And this is what Taylor does so well. He fights back. He keeps coming at you. Gordy misses, but Taylor sure didn't. And one whomp after another. It's Big Gordy coming at us. It's Big Gordy airline crash. He was driven way up in the air as he crashed to the mat. Taylor now got the foot of Gordy, as Taylor doing his best to swing the match back in his favor, and that is going to help his cause.
Terry Taylor full of fire. Gordy reverses it, and Gordy with that clothesline. He caught him coming in, cut off the ropes. Gordy with a thunderous clothesline, and he's got him wrapped up. What a hard-fought battle. What a tremendous battle.
Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
So there you have it. Terry Bam Bam Gordy, the winner, the Universal Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion, and we just saw why he's the champion.
It was a tremendous battle, Pete. as we hear Bad Street in the background. We can't take anything away from Terry Taylor. What a phenomenal effort. I thought he had Gordy on a couple of occasions, but it just goes to show you that Gordy is definitely for real. He is a phenomenal athlete. But I'll say this, Hacksaw Duggan wants Terry Gordy any way he can get him, and any way it's going to be violent when they lock horns.
Well, we'll be back for more great wrestling action in just one moment.
Match with him because you know that he's going to violate the principles and the rules, and he's going to just make you sorry you stepped into the ring. Chavo looking for a way to get at the Mad Dog and put him under leash. I reminded to you that our next wrestling card is next Friday night here at the Sam Houston Coliseum, and we are really looking forward to it.
This coming Friday night is going to be a great one. Hacksaw Duggan and Ted DiBiase against the one-man gang and Kamala. What a score to be settled in that situation this Friday night at the Coliseum. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this match, no disqualifications. And I think sometimes they're harder to officiate than the matches that have regular rules, because the referee, there's nothing really he can do except count the pinfalls.
Well, there are things that he can do to try to keep the match under some semblance of order. But both wrestlers know that he has no way of penalizing them if they disregard his instructions. So this is wide open wrestling where the old phrase, anything goes, applies. But let's say almost anything goes.
Almost anything goes as Chavo Guerrero, a graduate of University of Texas at El Paso, now making his home in El Paso, as Buzz Sawyer now has Guerrero in a very precarious position. And he blatant blow to the throat there. And Chavo going outside. I don't like no disqualification matches for this very reason.
No. Buzz Sawyer has a particular affinity for him. He likes him, but that is not why this is a no disqualification match. Chavo Guerrero was as eager for it in an effort to make it a feud settlement. And as Buzz Sawyer bounces outside that ring, he found his prey, and the concrete is hard, the concrete is cold, and that chair into which he has just plunged Chavo Guerrero head first is just as hard as the concrete.
Well, I tell you, in my opinion, Chavo Guerrero, pound for pound, is just as tough as anybody in wrestling. What a tremendous athlete, but he is, oh my gosh!
He dropped him throat first, chest first, face first, down on top of the barricade that surrounds the ring. The barricade is put there in the first place to keep wrestlers from going out into the crowd and the crowd from coming into the ring. But in this particular case, he used it as a weapon.
He certainly did. And both men now, ladies and gentlemen, the referee is helpless in this no disqualification match, but both men wanted this match. They wanted this situation as Chavo now has ran into the stairway. Buzz Sawyer, I got to think that because Chavo is such a great technical wrestler, he is a tremendous battler, but I think this is more conducive, perhaps, Paul, you can elaborate more on that, the Guerrero style, this no disqualification, no rules, because he rarely adheres to them anyway.
He adheres to them, and he's the only one that can suffer from the lack of restraint. And Sawyer is the kind of a man who benefits, unfortunately. But you have to prove that you're tough as well as prove that you can wrestle. You have to prove that you got guts as well as being just willing to mix it.
Chavo now lacerated from those blows. He is in a very tough predicament here. Chavo's bleeding profusely from the head, and Buzz Sawyer, the Mad Dog, is a little bit deranged, to say the least.
There are some things that bring that out in him, and I don't like it, but he passes the test as far as the doctor and the psychiatrist go. Buzz Sawyer in there trying to sink his teeth into the head and face of Chavo Guerrero, and again we say it is a no disqualification match. This crowd here is on Sawyer and encouraging Chavo to get up and to straighten things out with a left hook or whatever else he can throw.
Chavo's always been a tremendous representative of the Hispanic people, and you can hear this great crowd, the Sam Houston Coliseum. It's no doubt who they're for. He's a tremendous athlete, but he's got his hands full here with the Mad Dog. Chavo's losing a lot of blood, but he's biting Sawyer back.
And Chavo is making himself a tortilla out of the face of Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. And Sawyer has caught the brunt of it. He got the message. Whether it'll make any difference, I don't know, but he has felt the wrath of Chavo, and Chavo is benefiting by a moment's respite over there in the corner. He's got his eye on Sawyer, and a foot in his face, or in his belly anyway. He caught him nicely. And Chavo now sees the opening and sees the opportunity.
He's got that Latin temper, and it's red hot. Chavo with a great drop kick, and Sawyer goes out to the concrete, and Chavo follows him right outside to the floor.
Now a battle of chairs in all directions here as they...
Well, I'm just not going to sit here. I can't.
35 pounds of...
They've got chairs.
Are literally hurtled through the air. And now we've got the referee out here to try to stop it. And Chavo Guerrero has rammed that head of Buzz Sawyer down into the chair, and we are watching a mad Mexican up in that ring as he goes outside to try to even things on the floor and to blast away at the head of Buzz Sawyer. Sawyer back in the ring, but Chavo's right after him. And things are still flying. He caught him with a blasting blow, a good solid crashing blow, and down goes Sawyer. When we say he's a tough guy, we mean he's a tough guy. Flying and spun through the air. There's a count. There it is.
They were outside. What a great victory for Chavo Guerrero. He's standing tall for his people, and he's standing tall for the fans of the UWF. A great victory and a hard fought for Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo gets an amazing, noisy reception as he leaves this ring. The fans saw him not just fly through the air, but to whirl in the air. He did a complete turn in the air, and his head crashed into Buzz Sawyer, and Sawyer caught him.
Like you.
And Sawyer is left to verbal abuse.
And I know that was a fluke. You come back in and I'll show all you people what you're made of.
He had his chance. Chavo was in the ring. Got the 3 count. And Chavo, I hope, is too much of a veteran in this game and too confident of his own ability to return to this ring. He has a clear-cut 3 count win. And
he's challenging Chavo right here, and I don't think he's going to have to ask him twice to come back to the ring.
Here comes Chavo.
He's still red hot. He is red hot, Chavo. And here he comes back.
And now we've got it coming right back. A roundhouse series of rights that did some damage, and Chavo is caught by that tremendous crashing power slam, but there was no 3 count.
He kicked out of that power slam. Very few men have ever kicked out of the power slam, but Guerrero's done it. This match is over officially. And Chavo!
And on top is Chavo Guerrero. There we've got a 3 count, and we've got another roar from the crowd as Buzz Sawyer was not only battered down to the canvas, but held there for that 3 count, and it really worked tremendously.
Well, it's hard enough to beat Buzz Sawyer one time, but Chavo Guerrero's the first man I've ever seen. He beat Buzz Sawyer twice, right here in a matter of minutes. What an athlete, what a match.
I guess we could call that a 2 out of 3 fall match.
It's 2 straight.
2 straight is the way of winning, and Buzz Sawyer looks a little bit amazed here as he ponders what has just happened to him, and the referee steps out of the ring. Buzz Sawyer. He's not had that happen to him too often in his career, but he just lost 2 falls in a 1-fall match.
Things happening. It's just awesome. You have not paid the price yet for what you did. When 4 of them in the chains and the shovel, and then the most humiliating thing of all, burying me under that red Russian flag. I'd rather be dead than red. Let me tell you something. When you start a war, there's a few skirmishes, a few tactical maneuvers, and generally the generals or the politicians are safe at home or behind the lines. Their butt's not on the front line. Well, Eddie Gilbert, you started it, and it's between you and I. I've got to get a hunk of you. Now it's you and your big Russian, and if I beat him, I get the red flag of Russia as the spoils of war. But more important than that, oh, so much more important than that, I get 5 minutes with you. Eddie Gilbert, 5 minutes could be the longest time in your entire life, because I'm not going to be negotiating with you. I'm taking no prisoners. This is a war. I'm going to get there first with the most. I'm going to kick your tail. Now that if you happen to win with your Russian, you get my cowboy belt and get to lash me 5 lashes across my back. But in order for that to happen, I'd have to be dead. Okay, the big one's on the line, Gordy. The UWF belt. You got a little piece of me in the tournament. You found out how tough and rugged I am. Well, Gordy, let me tell you one thing. You know, I got to keep my eye open now. I know there's going to be a little stooge around that ring. It could be Buddy Roberts or Michael Hayes. Just let me remind you one thing, Terry Gordy. Don't ever underestimate Dr. Death Steve Williams. Because in Houston, Sam Houston Coliseum, where the big horns are, you know when I come down that ring, you've got to fight for your life, Terry Gordy. And it's going to be in Sam Houston Coliseum. So come on down, leave your stooges back in the locker room, because you got to fight for your life in Sam Houston Coliseum. It seems when it really gets hot and heavy, when you really need somebody to back you up, I always look to this man and he looks to me. Well, when he asked me to wrestle with him against the Freebirds because he wanted to get his hands on Michael Hayes, I said, yes, sir, I'll keep Buddy Roberts out of the way. You can have him all night long. No easy task. There's a whole lot of guys not willing to jump right into a fire like this. But like Terry Taylor said, when you need help, call on him. So I'm asking you, T, kind of keep that Buddy Roberts busy. Because Michael Hayes, you're awful quick to grab me by the back of the head when I've been down, when I've been beaten, when I've been bloody, and run me into a post. Well, this time, it's tag team action, but I want to guarantee you one thing. Sissy, old hacksaw Jim Duggan's good eye is going to put them crosshairs right on your chest. So no matter where you go on that ring, you go underneath the ring, old hacksaw Duggan will put a miner's light on and go down there and look around for you. No matter where you go, Ace, you go back in the dressing room. Well, I'll go back in the dressing room. No matter where you go, no matter where you hide, I'm going to get you, sissy.
We hope you're making your plans to be at the Coliseum this time.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. We're just about out of time, everybody. We'll hold it here as long as we can. Oh, the referees are talking it over.
He just feels guilty because it's Sonny. Now, this is ridiculous. They won it. That's it. They won it. That's it. No reversal.
Yes, sir. We're out of time. We'll see you next week, everybody. Yes, sir. We'll see you next week.
How can you give him the belt? He's laid out cold.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting hour, Universal Wrestling Federation. My name is Jim Ross. I'll be your host for the next 60 minutes, and it's my pleasure to have Frank Dusick of Mid-South Sports staff here with us. And Frank will be speaking with us in a few moments about some upcoming events and some past events that some nonprofit groups and organizations have sponsored that have been tremendously successful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we just saw some footage, and Frank, you were here last week in attendance. One of the most exciting tag team matches of quite some time, and Tommy Gilbert conferred with Carl Fergie, and they reversed the decision. The Fantastics are still the UWF Tag Team Champions. but the Sheepherders are incensed. And ladies and gentlemen, they made a comment about that match. Here are their statements.
Fantastic! Fantastic! You've done it again! You've done it again! The Yankees sitting in there in front of the TV sets! They saw us win those Universal Tag Belts fair and bloody square! Fair and square in the middle of the ring! You were beaten 1, 2, bloody 3! They were then a Yankee bloody referee comes out and takes the bloody belts away from the Sheepherders. Decision. Well, we're sick and bloody tired. Hear me, Fantastic? Twice it's happened to us. It ain't gonna happen no more. It ain't gonna happen. The Sheepherders are tired of playing games with you pretty boy bloody Yanks. From now on, we're gonna destroy you. You hear me? We're gonna get you and break you up into little bloody Yankee pieces. You dirty Yankee scumbag.
I think it's quite obvious that the Sheepherders are insanely intent on regaining those titles, and to do anything that they have to do is exactly what they will do. Those upcoming matches with the Fantastics will be tremendous, ladies and gentlemen. And we're about ready to go to the ring in just a few moments. We'll do that in just a few moments. Coming up in this hour, the television title, Terry Taylor against Freebird Buddy Roberts. We'll see Terry Bam Bam Gordy in action. We've got a lot more to tell you about, but you've got some great success stories, Frank, that we want to hear about now.
I sure do. I want to thank Coach John McGee and his staff at the Marrero High School in Marrero, Louisiana. What a successful show they had there. And also the band boosters from the Henrietta, Oklahoma High School, Miss Vera Counts. I'll tell you what, those two organizations went out of their way. They were very successful. They made themselves a lot of money for their organization. For those of you out there that are listening to us and want to have the Universal Wrestling Federation in your hometown, go get you a pencil before this first match starts. Before it's over, I'll give you that number one more time. Call us, give us a call, even if we're in your hometown. We'll come out to your high school, we'll come to your gym, your stadium. We'll come out there and bring these same stars you're seeing right now to your hometown.
And speaking of stars, you're going to see two great ones for the television title. Now let's go to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match for the UWF television title. Introducing first the challenger from Bad Street at 234 pounds, Freebird Buddy Roberts. Also in his corner, Freebird Michael Hayes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us here at the Universal Wrestling Federation. Jim Ross and Frank Dusick with you here in this opening contest. And I want to add that my normal broadcast partner, there you see him, Michael Hayes. Frank was very adamant that he wanted to be at ringside, and I find that just somewhat suspicious because he never misses the opportunity to speak. He gets plenty of opportunity here at this location, but he wanted to be at ringside. I find that just a little bit fishy, if you know what I mean.
Well, you know, the Freebirds pride themselves in having all the gold. They're the six-man World Tag Team Champions. Terry Gordy's the Universal Wrestling Federation Champion, and they'd like nothing better than for Buddy Roberts to be the Universal Wrestling Federation Television Heavyweight Champion.
Well, they've been on quite a roll, and they're also $100,000 richer as a result of Bam Bam Gordy winning the UWF tournament on May the 30th in Houston, Texas.
Well, I'll tell you, that sure is a lot of money, isn't it? You know, I've wrestled against both of these men at one time or another in my career, and if I had to put it, I'd make it a pretty evenly matched, I should say. The edge, of course, always goes to the champion. With Michael Hayes out there, you can never be too sure.
Taylor with a leapfrog and a drop kick. Taylor caught Roberts coming in. That's two drop kicks. Terry Taylor. Then drop kick Roberts in the back of the head. Roberts goes out and over.
I don't think they'll call that a disqualification because it wasn't intentional. It has to be an intentional throw over the top rope, Jim, for it to be a disqualification. He didn't mean for that to happen. He caught Buddy Roberts just so. Well, let me put it this way. I don't think he meant for that to happen. You never know with a young man.
And that's one way of getting him back in the ring, not very politely, and he certainly won't spring any ankles.
No, sir, not like that.
From that landing.
No, I don't think the ankle's what he has to worry about there, Jim.
That lower back took some punishment. And Terry Taylor now He came here, ladies and gentlemen, set his sights on championships. He's a very goal-oriented young man.
He sure is, and I'll tell you what, he's a phenomenal athlete, well-conditioned. The one thing I always knew about him as a wrestler, he wasn't big, he wasn't particularly strong when you compare him to so many of the big men, but he is in phenomenal condition, and he has a vast knowledge of wrestling, and that makes him a very dangerous opponent.
And he has, I think, one intangible. He has probably the greatest attitude, or as good an attitude as any athlete in professional wrestling today. He loves the sport and loves to compete. As Buddy Roberts, the veteran of the trio known as the Fabulous Freebirds, taking over now on the Universal Wrestling Federation television champion. And Roberts scoop slamming Terry Taylor, and now Taylor is in a very dangerous predicament here. And look at Michael Hayes. You know that Hayes has got a verbal barrage going.
That has to be distracting with Michael Hayes there. You know this Buddy has been further around the cup looking for the handle than most people will ever go in their life. And this is just a sample of the experience right here, Jim. Not many wrestlers would think to tie the young man upside down. Ooh, right in the chin.
Right on the chin. Terry Taylor's in trouble.
You don't think about it, but hanging upside down, too, all that blood's going to the head. You know, it's possible if he gets him up, squeezes him tight enough and fast enough, he could cause that young man to pass out.
Terry Taylor, though, coming right back, and now Taylor! Yes, sir, a turnabout.
What's good for the goose?
Fair play. Well, the gander is tied up.
He sure is,
finish
Jim.
that cliche.
He sure is. Terry Taylor needs to take it to him right here. I know the time limit's on his side as the TV champion, but he wants to beat this man. He doesn't want to go the time limit.
One advantage here that Roberts might have, the blood rushing to his head may not affect him like it would a normal human.
Well, I'm not going
high out of there.
Did you see that, Jim? He was over the top rope that time. Gee whiz, he must have gone 6, 7 feet in the air.
And Roberts in a precarious position, very vulnerable here, as Terry Taylor well-placed kick right to the midsection, and it was a legal blow above the waist.
It was. Hits that lower abdomen area. I'll tell you, that's a tough area for people to work. Your bodybuilders and everyone else will tell you that's one of the toughest parts of the body for you to develop muscle in.
Roberts now turning the tables on Terry Taylor. Remember, everybody, this match is for the Universal Wrestling Federation Television Championship. And coming up later in the hour, the heavyweight champion, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, as we see Freebird Buddy Roberts with a perfectly executed neckbreaker to Terry Taylor. The lateral press by Roberts. Could we have? Well, it was a 2-count. I thought we were going to have a new champion, to be very frank with you, at this particular point in time.
Well, I'll tell you, it was close. It probably would have been for a lesser man, would have been down. The lesser man would have been down and out then, Jim. Is that blood I see?
I think Roberts has got a laceration, and from where I can see, it looks like a deep one. He's bleeding from the top or the back of his head. You can see that blood from that hair.
Must have happened when he went over the top rope a few minutes ago, Jim. Yeah, there it is. Well, I'll tell you what, bleeding or not, he sure got the young Terry Taylor in a serious predicament here.
Now we'll see if Taylor can recoup and take advantage of Roberts' injury here. Roberts trying to go.
He blocked it.
He sure did. And Taylor reverses him, and a perfectly executed suplex, and he hit it right on.
I'll tell you what, at this point, it's experience versus youth versus conditioning. We're going to see which stands true. Oklahoma hayride. Oh, he kicked out. If that had been another minute into the match, he might have got it. Here's a Freebird specialty, the pile driver. Too high up on the back, Jim. Too high up on the back.
Boy, Roberts is losing a lot of blood. I think you're right, Frank. He went over the top rope and hit his head on the floor or the railing there, something, because he's really bleeding from the back of the head.
He sure is.
And Taylor with a chop that just echoes throughout this beautiful facility, the Tulsa Convention Center.
Another sellout crowd, I see, for the Universal Wrestling Federation. You know, everywhere we go, it's been like that.
Michael Hayes up, inserting himself, has no business there. And Roberts now rolling up Taylor. Could this be it? Can we have a new champion right here? And
he ran into it. He hit him. He hit Michael Hayes. That's it, Jim. He's defended it. He's done it.
Taylor powered out it. He pushed Roberts into Michael Hayes and Terry Taylor. There you see the champion.
I'll tell you what, it backfired on Michael Hayes. I told you folks just a minute ago before we leave, I'd give you that number. If you want Universal Wrestling Federation, you want Terry Taylor, you want the Freebirds, you want these people in your hometown, remember this number, 918, the area code, 366-8000. That's 918-366-8000. 8,000, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You can have these, as for Scott Munns, you can have these same exciting stars you see right here in your hometown. Area code 918-366-8000, the Universal Wrestling Federation, #1 in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with a
It's a ripoff. I know it's a ripoff. What do you call that?
Well, what do you mean, what do I call it? But your man got beat 1, 2, 3.
Hey, Taylor nailed me. He had no right doing that. He had no right doing it
Then
at
you
all.
need to take it up with the board of directors, not me. Ladies and gentlemen, the Superdome has come and gone once again. A lot of exciting things happened there. Talk to the board of directors. Let's see the piece from the Superdome.
Ripoff.
Saturday night, June 14th in the Superdome, a great crowd witnessed a truly spectacular event. As usual, fans from all over the U.S. and Japan traveled to the Crescent City to watch what has truly become a tradition in sporting excellence. If you weren't there, you missed a good one.
You want to be a wrestler, huh? You want to be a wrestler?
The stars of the UWF headlined a tremendous card, along with some of the top wrestlers from the NWA. Nature Boy Ric Flair put up the NWA World Heavyweight title against Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express. Morton gave Flair a run for his money, but the champion retained his title in a controversial decision.
Top rope. And Morton with a drop kick. And it caught Flair. It's caught Flair. We got one. We got two. Flair goes to the ropes. If he would have been in the middle of the ring, we would have a new champion, no doubt about it. Many said it would not be a contest. Many pro-Flair people said it would not be a contest because of Flair's experience, his edge experience, perhaps the size differential, but it has been a phenomenal contest. And now Ricky Morton with a sleeper. Ricky Morton has executed every move, and now Morton once again throwing Flair into the turnbuckle, coming right back off Flair, and Morton has a sleeper hold. And to the ropes they go. It's hard to call the action in this contest in the Superdome. And a right hand that sends Flair out and over to the concrete. The heavyweight championship of the world hangs in the balance.
Koko B. Ware took on Jack Victory in an action-packed bout, but the attention was not all focused in the ring. Maxine was at ringside, and Dark Journey had said that she'd be there.
Each and every time as Victory works against Koko Ware. Right hands by Jack Victory, and he is in the ropes. Koko Ware is in the ropes. High elevation by Koko Ware. And Koko with another drop kick, and Victory all the way outside.
Dark Journey showed up, and Jack Victory found out what it was like to be distracted by a woman at ringside.
Real quick. And the crowd roars its approval, but Dark Journey has distracted Jack Victory. And now Victory taking over on Koko Ware. Koko had received a lot of punishment from Victory. And all the way over and out. Victory all the way out to the floor, and Dark Journey seems to be challenging Lady Maxine. I'm going to get you. And here they come. Hold on to your seats on this one, and there they go. There they go, but Victory's pulling Koko Ware outside. Jack Victory throwing Koko Ware to the railing. And now it's 2-on-1. Victory. Victory's holding Dark Journey, and Maxine is really laying it to Dark Journey here. But Koko Ware, the Birdman, is back in the ring. Koko throws Victory all the way outside. And now then, is it going to be 1-on-1? That's all that she's ever asked. and she's going to powder right in her face. She's blinded. Dark Journey wanted to get even, and she's doing it right here in the Superdome. And she kicked her, and I mean below, way below the belt. Dark Journey back on Lady Maxine. Dark Journey what a kick. This situation is far, far, far from over. Dark Journey is not intimidated by that big, big woman. There's a lot of scores to be settled here. Dark Journey has got some measure of revenge. This is far from over, and Lady Maxine is going to feel the results of that, well, let's say a well-placed kick for some time to come.
That pretty much says it all. Dark Journey came loaded for bear, and the fans loved it. Another major development came about during a match that was scheduled to be Hacksaw Jim Duggan against Kamala.
Get a shot of this.
What are you doing down there? You all saw what happened on TV a couple weeks ago in Houston, Texas. I was just back in the dressing room talking to UWF physician, and he said that he won't certify me to wrestle tonight. So I'm not going to be able to wrestle because of this man right here and what happened in Houston, one-man gang. And I'm going to tell you, and all these folks right out here, I'll tell you, things between you and me aren't over, and we're going to finish them real quick. Tough guy. And you, Kamala, and you, Skandor Akbar, I've got a little surprise for you, because I got somebody that's going to take old Hacksaw's place, and I'm going to keep an eye on the match. A little surprise coming up.
An interesting situation here, ladies and gentlemen. The UWF official has not cleared Hacksaw Duggan as a result of the concussion that he suffered from the one-man gang in Houston, Texas. The 27-inch gash, 27-stitch gash, excuse me, that it took to close the wound of Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Get carried away here myself here in the Superdome. Duggan is bringing a man to take his place, and the crowd is seeing, perhaps before we can from our vantage point, the music can only mean one thing, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard it around the world in wrestling arenas wherever he's appeared. But I want to wait and make sure we see, and yes, it is. The one and only Missing Link will come to the ring. Hacksaw Duggan has got one heck of a man that does not like General Skandor Akbar and Kamala. The Missing Link is going to wrestle Kamala in the Superdome, and the Link is ready to go. The Link with the hardest head in wrestling. Duggan's going to stay at ringside. And Kamala is reeling. The 409-pounder. The headbutts of the Missing Link. Kamala reeling. And a big headbutt, and down goes 409-pound Kamala. But the one-man gang trips the Link. But here's Hacksaw Duggan. And by gosh, it's breaking out. He's not cleared to wrestle, but he's darn sure going to fight. Akbar's in the ring, and it's breaking loose in the dome. Duggan wants the gang, and Duggan wants Kamala. And there you see Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And the Link is working over Kamala. Duggan is trying to beat the fire out of the one-man gang and knocks him from the ring. The big man is stomping, and the people in the dome love it. The Missing Link is up and down. Hacksaw Duggan and the Missing Link, what a combination. And the General's forces are leaving and have left the ring area. Duggan wants the one-man gang. What a price I'll be to pay in that one. Duggan and the gang. Duggan and Kamala. But the missing link is in the UWF. What a collision in the dome.
Devastation Incorporated got a big surprise that night. But don't count him out just yet. Akbar is a devious man, and he has the biggest team in wrestling to back him up. Finally, the Sheepherders and the Fantastics hooked it up to settle the score in the dome. After almost losing the titles last week on television, the Fantastics were red hot. Nothing was settled in that confrontation, however, as both teams took heavy tolls on one another. But it really got out of hand. It is just too violent to be aired on television. Coming up next, we'll see who Dark Journey will take to the ring to wrestle Gustavo Mendoza. That's it for now. I'm Joel Watts. Hope to see you next time at the Superdome Extravaganza.
First from Havana, Cuba, weighing 240 pounds, Gustavo Mendoza.
What's she doing there?
Well, she's going to the ring. I think we're going to get a look at Dark Journey's mystery wrestler momentarily.
Michael Hayes, I've had enough of your lies. I didn't write you no apology letter. That's a lie. You know it, and I know it. And I'm not going to waste my 22 cents on a stamp to send a letter to a sissy like you. But he's gonna bang your head.
Michael, she didn't read between the lines. She said she's got a man.
That's the missing leg! That's the missing leg!
And people are standing back. It is the missing link.
I can't believe it!
Dark Journey said she was going to get a man, and that is quite a man.
That ain't no man, that's an animal! And she's still playing hard to get. She's hiding her true feelings. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I ain't Mendoza.
Dark Journey presents the missing link. This match, one fall or 10-minute time limit.
Look at him, he beats on himself.
Well, an interesting situation here. And Jack Victory, you better be looking at the monitor because I know that Dark Journey has plans for that man, and the missing link is very unorthodox, and he can use that head. He uses his head more effectively than anybody, and I mean anybody in pro wrestling today.
It's like a steel sledgehammer, boom, right to the chest. He's got Mendoza on the run. Mendoza Smurdo keep running right out of the building.
Oh, look at that man. He is in phenomenal condition. And another headbutt.
Oh, there's that patented power slam. There he goes. He's going up for the top rope. If he goes for that big one, that's it. There it is. Boom, right in the solar plexus. That's it. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to have a talk with her. She didn't mean what she said. She couldn't have. If not, I'll get my brothers. We'll take care of this situation. Nobody talks to Michael PSAs like that.
The missing link in Dark Journey. What a pair they're going to make. Jack Victory and Massey, beware. And we'll be back with more UWF action after this. Time out. Missing link, what a combination they're going to make. Another tremendous combination is the one-man gang.
Goof and Goof.
The one-man gang and Kamala. Over 800 pounds combined weight with General Skandor Akbar, Devastation Incorporated, making a big blast in the Universal Wrestling Federation. We're going to hear from General Skandor Akbar momentarily and see some exciting footage involving Devastation Incorporated. Let's go now to that feature.
You know, when you were in my stable, you were well taken care of. You were paid good. Now, I'm making you an offer. One more time, Teddy. Come back to Devastation Incorporated, and I'll give you $25,000. 25 G's, Teddy. You can take a little vacation with 25 G's. What about it? You better think $25,000, and all you people in Houston are out of work. So here's the way it's going to be, Teddy. $25,000, and you come back to the General where you belong. Let me make it
50,000. Of course I'll make it 50,000. You're on, Teddy.
So everybody makes mistakes, Teddy. But you made the biggest mistake anybody has ever made. Because I offered you once again all the riches and the fame and the glory that goes with Devastation Incorporated. And I remember when you came to me, when you were destitute a few years back, and I thanked you, Teddy. Then you bit my hand and fed you. And one of them across and May 30th will be a day event for me in your life, Teddy. Because I shall not and I will not forget it. Because, Teddy, you're limited time from here on out. You better stay so far on the other side of the fence, I better not see you. And as for the one-man gang, the original punk slapper from Halstead Street in Chicago, you saw. You gotta see when he did the hacksaw Jim Duggan in one of the wildest brawls in all of my years in professional wrestling. The punk slapper has joined Devastation Incorporated. And I ask you people, who can contend with the one-man gang and Kamala? Nobody. That goes for Duggan, DiBiase, even the Freebirds, even you, Gordy, the new UWF champion. Anybody, Bill Watts, who wants to throw his hat in the ring. So from here on out, hear it and hear it good, people. Devastation Incorporated. We're going to rule one more time in the UWF.
Florida at 220 pounds, Red Wayne Sawyer. And at 230 pounds from Vicksburg, Mississippi, Ken Massey.
There you hear the music.
General Skandor Akbar leading the largest team in professional wrestling today, the one-man gang, and Kamala.
It's like two Sherman tanks coming down the aisle. But I'll tell you what, till they beat the Freebirds, they may be the biggest, but that don't mean that they're the best.
General Akbar so incensed, he didn't care about the $100,000.
Well, I did, and my brothers did when we partied on it.
He just wanted to have his man, the first UWF champion. Akbar was a champion at one time.
Yeah, well, he didn't get what he wanted.
Introducing from Devastation Incorporated, the combined weight of 849 pounds, Kamala, the Ugandan warrior, and the one-man gang with General Skandor Akbar. This match, one fall or 10-minute time limit.
Devastation Incorporated. Right there you see it, General Skandor Akbar, the chairman of the board, if you will.
He's an upset general, too, because he didn't get what he wanted, what my brothers got. My brother's coming up later on this show, Terry Bam Bam Gordy. So Akbar just have to watch from the monitors at what he dreamed for. Maybe $100 grand don't mean nothing to him, but that $1 million contract and $100 grand means something to us, because we don't forget coming from Bass Street when we had no money. Red Wayne Sawyer using his speed, trying to meet Kamala, but too much power. Too much power. Made the tag to Massey and a mass attack. Look at those chops.
Kamala, it's strange to me that Akbar, that's a bot-like kick of Kamala and the one-man gang. He and Kamala do have some teamwork.
Yes, they do. Well, Akbar's, hey, he's been around. He's not dumb. If he was going to put these two guys together, he'd start showing us some tag team moves. Kamala, since he's come to the States, you can see how much wrestling he's learned under the guidance of Skandor Akbar. There's that double chop, and Massey's out for it. Oh, gang's going for the 747. That's it. Ooh, that's it. Good night. That's it.
Devastation Incorporated, the one-man gang, and Kamala. The biggest team in pro wrestling today, any tag team in the world. Beware. Akbar has got a find here. What a combination.
We'll take him on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the Birdman from Union City, Tennessee, Koko Ware. After this, time out.
Unknown, the Shadow.
There's the music of Koko Ware, and you hear the fans going crazy, Jim Ross. They went nuts the other night in Memphis on June 6th. And I tell you what, coming up July 25th, I'm sure they'll go nuts again. It's his hometown. But I'll tell you what, if he goes up against the real Birds, he's the one that's going to be going nuts from a bad street beating. Memphis, July 25th. I can't wait. And the big one on the 27th. The town that we run, not the Cowboys, not anybody else. Dallas Reunion Arena on the 27th.
We're also looking forward to back in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the state capital, with Brenda Smith's first promotion there at the Centerplex this Tuesday night. Big spectacular there. Also, next Sunday, the 29th, back in New Orleans at the beautiful Lakefront Arena, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. As we watch Koko Ware and the adoring fans here at our television taping. The next television taping, June 22nd in Tulsa, the Convention Center. Trying to update you on some of the big happenings, and the UWF is growing by leaps and bounds. Dr. S.D. Williams homecoming in Norman, Oklahoma at the Lloyd Noble Arena. The first time ever for the UWF in Norman on July the 6th, 2 in the afternoon.
They'll never be able to put enough people in there for his homecoming.
Oh, it'll be packed. You can bet on that. Dr. Death coming back home to OU.
You know, ever since, I practiced with my band in Dallas, all I heard everybody in Dallas talking about, the UWF coming there on the 27th. A lot of people have bothered us about our dolls because they can't find them in the stores and sold out. I'm sorry when you're so popular, you can't help it. Oh, now look at this. He's got the announcer doing it. See, I can outdance both of them.
From Motown City, weighing 230 pounds, the Birdman, Koko Ware.
I don't know if you can or not. He's pretty bad there with the Bird.
Yeah, but till you walk down Bass Street, he ain't bad.
Did you teach Buddy to dance in the video? I saw the video of Buddy dancing.
Hey, Buddy's working on his dance steps. We're getting a choreographer with him. Buddy's not as gifted with his feet as me or Terry. He doesn't quite have the blue-eyed soul.
The Oriental-like Shadow with a very unusual wrestling attire.
Especially his boots. You notice that? Whoa, good arm drag there by Koko Ware. The boots are savant-like karate boots that you've seen the great Kabuki wear once in a while, only these are white, and you have to wonder why.
He's straight bowing, and this is a very unusual man here. And
good knee to the gut.
He buried it there. Koko Ware, Union City, Tennessee's finest.
Elbow to the back of the head, and Jim Ross, you'll see a lot of guys use reverse chin lock. Boom, right to the neck. You'll see us use it a lot. The reason why is when you have a reverse chin lock, you got your weight down on the man's shoulders, and it's hard to get up. Oh, he went there, slam. Too much weight, could be it. No, he kicked out.
You're going to see action just like this, the Great Plains Coliseum in Lawton on July the 19th. Keep it right here, ladies and gentlemen, on Channel 6 KAUZ. A great television station in Wichita Falls and Lawton every Saturday night at 10:30. We'll tell you more about it right here as we see the Shadow and Koko Ware, the Birdman.
And they are going at it, man. And Koko's coming right back. There's a forearm.
He is double tough.
He's got that Oriental guy going. He's slinging him into the ropes. Big high back drop. Should have gone for a pin. Headlock, side takeover. Beautiful cradle by the Shadow. You can tell he's an Oriental.
Koko rolled on through, though.
Yeah, they did. He's got him in the corner. Goes for a turnbuckle. Koko went up. What's he doing? Oh, no, the dropkick. Oh! He caught him with the Birdman.
Sayonara.
That's it. Sayonara.
And the Birdman is flying high in the Universal Wrestling Federation. He'll be back in Memphis on July 25th. You can bet on that. And we'll be back right here
with my big brother,
with Terry Bam Bam Gordy, right after this from the Universal Wrestling Federation.
Weighing 275 pounds, Jeff Gaylord.
Here he comes, the newly crowned, the man that's bigger than the world, the Universal Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Champion. my big brother, Terry Bam Bam Gordy. He did it all in one night and all by himself. And you know something, next week I hear that Joe Coltrane's coming in. I hear a lot of things about him. He did it by himself, brother. Man, he wasn't any about
I'm not knocking him. Yeah, he is bad. I mean double bad to the bone. But to say he did it by himself is a little bit absurd.
Look at him. Look at that belt. There's the champion of the universe. Wait a minute. What's Duggan doing? Jim Duggan's going down there.
Well, what do you... Hacksaw Duggan's got a score.
He ain't got no right being there.
Everybody knows what happened in Houston.
He ain't got no right being there. He ain't signed for this match. Wait a minute. I'm not putting up with nothing.
One-man gang, you put 20 stitches up there in my head. Well, the doctor says, Hacksaw, you can't wrestle. You got to stay in bed for 2 weeks. Well, I told the doctor what I thought, because I was going to come up here and talk and tell you one thing, Gordy. You don't deserve that belt, and I'm going to take it away from you.
Well, no, he's not. Oh, no.
Wait a minute. Michael Hayes is leaving the stand. Gordy says he doesn't care. He's ready. Duggan wants some action.
From Bad Street in 289.
Duggan has had a concussion. He's had so many stitches in his head. And now Gordy, look at Gordy. And these guys were best friends at one time. And look at Michael Hayes does not. I mean, he is emphatic. He does not want Terry Gordy.
Get back. Now let me take. Get back, Terry. Get back. All right, now I'm going to tell you something. You didn't get the title. You didn't get the $100 grand. The doctors have already told you not to wrestle. The only reason you're doing this, Jim, is for all these stupid, idiotic fans. Now, wait a minute. I'm going to tell you man to man, right to your face. You used to be a friend, but what you've turned into because of these people is a stupid suck.
Oh, break it down! Big Hacksaw Duggan to level Michael Hayes. Hacksaw Duggan, boy, this was falling. And Duggan, they just want to get it on. These two big stallions, Duggan and Bam Bam. Michael Hayes left hand and power. It didn't have much good. Gordy wants to go. DiBiase and Hayes, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of time. We'll be back next week from the Universal Wrestling Federation. Join us next week.
Don't go away. Call for your services, DiBiase. The same young Ted DiBiase that came to me when you were destitute and you were hungry. And I trusted you. $50,000. How many people in Houston would grab for $50,000? Yet, DiBiase, you once again bent the hand that fed you. Well, I know exactly how to remedy this situation. Because Kamala in the Bayou City right here in Houston is going to have you for supper, DiBiase. And then I want you to crawl to me in a different way. I want you to crawl and lick my feet and call me master like the rest of this decadent society that you live in, that you call America. And I want to show you people that I'm still king. And DiBiase, you're gone.
Jack Victory and Lady Maxine, and Jack Victory is looking forward to the 27th of June.
Well, let me tell you something, Paul, and let me tell all you stupid people out here. I brought Dark Journey tonight to prove one point. Prove one point that she can beat that Dark Journey in the ring 1, 2, 3, and she did just that. Tell them a little about it.
You know, Jack, I've been up against a lot of opponents, and Dark Journey does not intimidate me one bit. The girl is about half my size, she's about half my weight, and she doesn't do a thing for me. And I tell you why she gets in that ring, she's a fool. She's an absolute fool, and she's begging. She has a death wish, and I'm going to grant her wish, frankly.
And you are going to back her up?
Hey, of course, Paul. Hey, if you don't believe me, come to see the 27th. If she wants to step in there again, she's stupid.
And this is the winner, the 27th, because I'm going to be with him, and he could do it by himself. But frankly, I just want to be here to cheer him on because he's my man.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you
very much. So you heard it from Lady Maxine and Jack Victory, and having heard it from them, it must be the truth. 27th.
For the very best, and you are the best in the world, and now you got Steve Williams, that ex-football flunky. What do you think about him?
Thank you, Bud. Thanks, man. I appreciate you standing behind me, you know, but my daddy told me, I remember when I was about 8 years old, he said, son, just looking at you, I know that you're going to be something special one day. You're going to be a champion. That's right, Dad. I am a champion. I'm proud to say I'm the Universal Heavyweight Champion. And I love this belt right here. You know, I kicked my girl out of the bed, you know, because when I first won this title right here, she told me, she said, Terry, you can't be wearing that title to bed. She says, the title's got to go or I got to go. I says, well, listen, baby. I said, hit the road. I love this title right here. And Dr. Death, I'll beat your ever-living brains out to keep this title right here. Boy, there ain't nobody going to take this title, nobody from Oklahoma especially.
Okay, Hacksaw. Okay, you want to be a big man. You want to be a big guy. You want to be the fans' hero. You want to go to the hospital again? You want to have stitches in your head again? You see, you don't seem to understand. When we came in here, we tried to let everybody know loud and clear where we were coming from. No friends. We take no prisoners. There's only 3 of us, and that's all there'll ever be. It's 3 Freebirds. And I told everybody one way or another, one of us would walk out with that belt. And my brother Bam Bam did it, and he beat you, and he beat DiBiase, and he beat Dr. Death, and he beat Koko Ware all by himself. Then I told you we'd come back and beat the Rock and Roll Express, and we did that. Now you're back. You're out of the hospital against doctor's orders. Well, when you come to meet us in Houston, brother, you're going right back to the doctors to get some more orders.
And they
Big Jack Roberts, as they call him.
An atomic drop as Ricky Morton picks up where Gibson left off. As a Rock and Roll Express, they're mainly known for their fast and ability to move in that ring, explode in the ring, but they're good basic wrestlers as well. As now we got Hayes trying to climb up, but he wasn't able to make it to the top rope.
The action just keeps getting better and better. And Hayes now in, Michael Hayes in, when the referee's back was turned. And Hayes nonchalant like nothing happened, Pete. He's so innocent.
Well, Michael Hayes is well aware of the fact how important this match is. When he saw the opportunity with the referee's back facing him, he took full advantage of it. So rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll echoes throughout the Coliseum.
Phenomenal crowd, and as the summer gets hotter in Houston, the wrestling will do the same. The big hacksaw back on the 27th as Ricky Morton's head is phased into that turnbuckle, and Michael Hayes seizing the moment and working on the face of Ricky Morton right above us here at ringside.
See, Michael Hayes gets in that mood. It seems like he's almost possessed with the intent of hurting his opponent.
Ricky Morton trying to make that tag. He needs to make it desperately because the Freebirds will cut off. They'll cut off part of the ring now, Pete. You can see their strategy and their game plan really kick into gear. That's Roberts, that's a cheap shot and blatant. There's no reason for that. But the referee's got to put out Gibson. And look at Hayes right off the top rope. That would have been a disqualification if the referee would have seen it. The Freebirds are sadistic. They have no regard for the rules or anybody else.
As we almost have the match, Ricky Morton kicking out in the last second. And Buddy Roberts now coming with that head twist, putting the pressure on the neck. Michael Hayes a little bit upset. He thought he may have been able to pull one off on the referee and to sneak a quick victory over the Rock and Roll Express.
The outcome of this match is going to affect national tag team ratings in every publication. So they're really going for it here at the Coliseum. And what a tremendous crowd, and boy, they're noisy here this tremendous Friday night.
That time, Michael Hayes unloaded, smashed Ricky Morton right in that nose. He's got that nose guard, but that doesn't protect him from a wallop with that kind of velocity behind him. Michael Hayes now trying to put the finishing move to Ricky Morton.
Look at Michael, so arrogant. He didn't even wrap a leg or anything. Michael Hayes' arrogance there perhaps cost his team a pinfall. He may have been able to get a 3 count if he would have had held of the leg. But his arrogance, I think, was his downfall in that particular instance.
A reverse chinlock being applied by Michael Hayes as he continues to put the squeeze to Ricky Morton. The thousands and thousands of Houston wrestling fans chant rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll. They know that the Rock and Roll Express, much like the Fantastic, when they get that crowd support, that gives them that extra emphasis that makes them such a great team. Hayes missed once. That time he didn't.
Might have got him right in the nose. I couldn't see. He's kicking him all the way outside now. I think Ricky Morton got hit right in the face there.
Michael Hayes threw in that vicious elbow. He knows he hurt Morton with that elbow, and he doesn't want to give Morton any kind of opportunity to regroup and get back in the ring.
It's awfully hard to breathe, as many of the folks out there can attest that have had it. But with a broken nose, it's so hard to keep your oxygen. The oxygen is so important in a wrestling contest.
Freebird setting them up, and a double kick to the stomach. Both Freebirds timed that kick well and catching Morton right in the midsection.
Well, you know, Pete, Ricky Morton's had quite an issue going with Ric Flair. The Rock and Roll have not been teaming as much as they have in the past. The Freebirds, on the other hand, are always in some sort of tag team combination. I think at this point in time, in the last few minutes, that the Freebirds have looked a little bit sharper. But the tide is turning. Ricky Morton pushing off Buddy Roberts.
And of course that brings the crowd here in the Coliseum to life as they start to scream and yell. They would like to see Morton over there. He touches Gibson, and Gibson explodes. He knows how to take care of business inside the ring. Setting him up in a head-on collision. Robert Gibson setting up Michael Hayes high in the air as he takes care of one Freebird and starts after the other. This is what makes the Rock and Roll Express so good, is they're able to come to the aid of each other, much like the Freebirds have established in the past as well. And Hayes with that clothesline, vicious clothesline, Morton in tough trouble. Morton over the top rope as the referee called for it. He caught him.
He caught him, all right. The referee caught him. There's a disqualification. The Freebirds, the sadistic Freebirds have been disqualified here.
So the Rock and Roll Express have won the match on a disqualification, but the Freebirds are getting their points across.
They're trying to punish Robert Gibson. They're going to try that suplex one more time.
That time, Morton came over the drop kick. That has sent the Freebirds scurrying outside the ring as we have the end of the match. Rock and Roll Express the winners by disqualification.
Thank you for watching Houston Wrestling.
Houston Wrestling is brought to you by I.W. Marks Jewelers, where you get fine quality jewelry at tremendous...
Universal Wrestling Federation. We're going to bring you a world of wrestling action. Now, tonight, we are on at an unaccustomed time, if you're watching on Saturday night. And this is just a one-time only, except for tomorrow, because tomorrow we will also have our time changed. Instead of being on in the morning, we will be on tomorrow's, that's Sunday night. We will be on from 8 in the evening until 10 in the evening. So keep that in mind, but remember that next week we will be on at our usual time of 10 to midnight on Saturday and 10 to noon on Sunday. And we've got some great things planned for you for the night of Friday, July the 11th. That's when the next live wrestling takes place at the Sam Houston Coliseum, and that's when we are going to tell you that the heightened action that has taken place here in this Coliseum for the summer season is sensational. You ask anybody who's been and certainly thousands have been and enjoyed as they are here tonight. Our ticket office at 1919 Caroline will be open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We will not be open on Friday, the 4th of July, but we wish you a happy 4th of July. We tell you that our ticket sales will be open Monday, and the first come always get the best seat, so get yours early. Now we've got a lot of action lined up for you. Some of your favorite wrestlers are going to be seen here tonight, and you stick close to that television set. But right now, Ed, you roll the tape.
The bell sounds, the next match is underway, featuring the Mexican sensational star Chavo Guerrero up against Rick Steiner, as Chavo Guerrero, the man who sent Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer packing and leaving right here because the result match that took place in the same Eastern Coliseum. Now Chavo wants to settle a score with Rick Steiner, who just a couple weeks ago on the Universal Wrestling Federation television show, he was the man who helped hang Chavo Guerrero with that chain of his.
He sure was, Pete, and there's a score to be settled here. Chavo Guerrero looking, I know I talked with him before we went on the air. He's very excited about this matchup. But Steiner was an All-American in amateurs at the University of Michigan, a national finalist and Big Ten champion. He has great amateur credentials, as does Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero, former coach at Jefferson High down in El Paso. Chavo now, of course, living in El Paso, and I've said it many times, and I really believe in my heart this is true, that pound for pound, Chavo Guerrero is as tough a wrestler as I've ever seen.
He's proven that in the past by winning the world's junior heavyweight title, and that means that anybody with his size, he was able to handle him. But Chavo Guerrero has that unique ability of being able to out-wrestle his opponents, but also if it gets rough and tough, Chavo can hang right in there.
Oh, he's got that Latin temperament that boils, and I mean it boils in a hurry. So, I don't know, you know, the referee here was conversing with Chavo. Steiner, Shirley Fergie's not so naive that he's going to believe really anything Steiner tells him. That was Chavo executed a great wrestling maneuver. Chavo, former high school wrestling coach, a graduate at University of Texas at El Paso, very articulate, very intelligent young man. And I think that we have yet to see the greatest in Chavo Guerrero. I think he's really coming into his own. He's a seasoned veteran. He knows what he has to do to secure a victory because he's in there against a big man, a man much bigger than he is. But that has never influenced his style. As a matter of fact, I think it makes him get better. The tougher the competition, the better Chavo Guerrero is.
Well, we'll hope you're enjoying the wrestling action at home, but we do want to urge you to stay tuned because we have plenty of wrestling action still coming your way, including the Missing Link up against Jack Victory live here in the same Houston Coliseum. Plus, you're going to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan return to team with Terry Taylor up against the Fabulous Freebirds, Michael Hayes, and Buddy Roberts later on this program, so stay right with us. And for those of you who are enjoying the wrestling here on this new time for this particular weekend, we do want to thank you for tuning us in, and more important, we'd like to point out the fact that next weekend we're back to our regular time, 10 p.m. Saturday night, and also 10 a.m. Sunday morning.
And obviously, Pete, the reason we're not at our regular time is because Channel 39 is cooperating with the telethon, and we hope everybody will reach down and give. What a great cause, and we're happy to be working and being a part of that, and a part of the Gaylord Broadcasting Company, and their efforts to raise these much-needed funds to kill this dreaded disease.
In fact, if you're watching on Saturday night, that telethon will come on after this program, so we urge you to stay tuned. You'll hear from some of your favorite wrestlers, too, as they come out and urge the support. So we do urge you to stay tuned right here on Channel 39 for the March of Dimes telethon.
Chavo Guerrero has decided he's going to punish the lower body, the lower portion of the anatomy of Rick Steiner, and I tell you, I don't know what's, you look at, try to find a chink in the armor, as Steiner now wants to be friends, not too sincere, obviously, but Steiner is he's quite a physical specimen. But Chavo, look, Chavo's still the aggressor. That's what the point I was making a while ago. It doesn't make any difference. Right there, Charlie Horse City. Get to the Whirlpool and the Absorbine Jr. on that one.
Well, Chavo making sure that he keeps Rick Steiner intimidated as Steiner has yet to be able to figure Chavo out. But Chavo is a strategist at heart. He goes into that ring. He knows exactly what he wants to do with his opponent, and he sets out, and he does it. And that's why Chavo has been a superstar in professional wrestling for so many years.
You know, Pete, I think when Chavo doesn't really get in a state of anger, he gets in a rage when it comes to time. And that's the thing about him, that he raises above another plane. As he's working on the leg right above us here at ringside, and man, right to that big thigh muscle, the biggest muscle in the body, really knots up in a hurry. We talk about hamstring pulls in football and baseball. That's what Chavo's working on, is that hamstring. Now wrenching that knee, and the ligaments will only go so far until they stretch, and then they snap.
Well, Chavo Guerrero delivered that kick to the inside of the thigh. It was a legal blow. As we've seen Chavo early in this match indicate his strategy that he is going to wrestle the legs of Rick Steiner, and that's not a bad strategy when you look at the upper body of Rick Steiner.
Exactly right. And one thing I do want to remind everyone that, as you said, we'll be back at our regular times next weekend. But in this hour, they're going to see 2 championship matches. The television championship will be at stake in this hour, and so will the UWF Heavyweight Championship. So whatever you do, don't go away, and we certainly appreciate you joining us at this special time here on 39 Gold, as Chavo has really controlled the tempo. He's a master tactician in the ring, and Steiner, short on experience, long on ability, a lot of potential. He's learned a few tricks from the Mad Dog, who is, as you said, Pete, and so very well put, the Mad Dog went to, I guess, what he would consider more greener pastures. The competition maybe not as tough where he has gone, but Chavo Guerrero was the man responsible for that, and him alone.
Chavo Guerrero has sent a lot of men packing when they've come into this area. Chavo Guerrero has done extremely well to be able to stay on top. One thing I'd like to point out is Chavo Guerrero is not only a great individual wrestler, as pointed out by the fact that he has held such titles as the World Junior Heavyweight title, but he and his brother, along with other men, he is a tremendous tag team partner.
I think if I were a wrestler and I was going to wrestle in Houston, Texas, and I had to have a tag team partner, Pete, it was going to be in Houston. I'm not saying he wouldn't be good anywhere else, but in Houston, Texas especially, I'd want Chavo Guerrero as my partner, because Houston, Texas brings out the best in this athlete, and this crowd here now will have to get behind Chavo, because Steiner is seizing the moment, as it were. Big right hand, and Chavo Guerrero is certainly in a tough predicament here, as they're right above us here at ringside, and Chavo out to the floor.
And that's why Rick Steiner is so dangerous. He has that raw power, and all you have to do is leave one slight opening, and he's going to use that power to punish you. And outside the ring, it looked like he used that chain across the head of Chavo Guerrero, as Carl Fergie was outside the ring trying to get control of this match. Chavo's down on the concrete floor. You see him there as the referee checking Chavo. And now Carl Fergie questioning Rick Steiner on whether or not he did indeed use the chain.
I think it's a good point, case in point here. If the referee had stayed in the ring, he would have got a clear view of that. He was trying to get out in hand and get this thing separated. He got out of position, no doubt about it. Chavo Guerrero's got to get back in the ring, and he's got to get back on the offensive. That's where he works his best. He is the best when he's on the offensive.
It's Chavo into the ropes, and Rick Steiner with that vicious clothesline on that powerful left arm of his. He's on top. We've got 1, we've got 2, and we almost had the match, as Rick Steiner not intimidated by Chavo Guerrero's tremendous reputation. He respects it, but at this point, he's ready to take the battle right to the Mexican Star.
And for all the kids out there, the little midgets will be here next time. Two of the more premier midget athletes in professional wrestling will be joining us on our next event here on July the 11th. We hope moms and dads will bring the kids out. That'd be a lot of fun, Pete.
Yes, it's a rare treat in professional wrestling, and we urge you to take advantage of the opportunity to see these great midget stars in action live here in the Sam Houston Coliseum Friday, July 11th. Now you see Carl Fergie firing the question to Rick Steiner. Did he indeed choke? You be the judge. The fans here in the Coliseum shouted that he's guilty of wrongdoing, but Steiner now continuing to keep the pressure on Chavo Guerrero, and that time He came charging across, and I don't care how powerfully built your upper body is, when you crash in that turnbuckle with that kind of velocity, and that kick up Chavo's landing on the same spot. Damage with that turnbuckle. Chavo Guerrero trying to take advantage of Steiner's missing him in the turnbuckle, and that time he drove him down into the mat.
That's a variation of the old bulldog headlock, it looked like. Chavo's got a million holes I think he's never used.
Well, I tell you, with his father, Gordy Guerrero, the man who taught him, ever since he and his brothers were old enough to tie their shoes, they've been on the wrestling mat. And Chavo that time was just able to pick him up. And that shows some of the strength of Chavo Guerrero. He may not have the muscular physique of a Rick Steiner, but Chavo does possess that strength to handle the big men inside the ropes.
He sure does, and both men are really fatigued here. They've hammered each other throughout the outset of this match. Ooh! Chavo with that headbutt, and Steiner goes down. That's one of his most effective maneuvers. Once again.
And that's Chavo at his best when he's able to fly around that ring. We're at 2, we've got 3. As Chavo was able to use that headbutt of his, fly around the ring, and topple the powerful Rick Steiner. Chavo Guerrero with another impressive victory right here, Houston, Texas. We'll be back with more wrestling action after this important message.
The Incredible Hulk. This man is searching for the cure to a raging force dwelling within him. Bill Bixby as Dr. David Banner. Lou Ferrigno as the Incredible Hulk. Together, a powerful combination for justice.
Watch The Incredible Hulk weekdays at 10 on 39 Gold.
Pick Your Parts self-service auto wrecking. Bring your own tools, pull your own parts, and save. Doors, bumpers, hoods, and fenders are just $22.95 each. V8 engines are $115. 4-cylinder engines are $125. Automatic transmissions are $50. Call 224-1691. 224-1691.
Pick your part out, pick your part from all cars. Straight to you. Pick your part.
Motorists, Texas is serious about their financial responsibility law. January 1st of 1986 has brought new higher limit requirements for liability auto insurance. Failure to provide proof of financial responsibility when stopped means tickets, fines, and even loss of driving privileges. Call the people at Amtex Insurance for low rates, low down payments, and terms. That's 527-8014. Ask about our express same-day SR22 service. Call Amtex Insurance for your free quote and the Amtex office nearest you.
I can afford to buy my video stereo equipment anywhere, but I don't. I buy them from Mad Max.
AM, FM, in-dash digital car cassette player from $39. Car graphic equalizer 7-band 200 watts of power, $19. FM stereo headphones, a $50 value for $9.99. Walkabouts, your choice from $9.99. Complete TIAC high-power home stereo system, don't pay $1,000. Get it for $399. Dynamic home speakers, $25 each. FM radio sunglasses, this week only $19.
I'm Larry Holmes. Buy your stereo equipment from the Stereo Warehouse. Any other deal is no big deal.
You're looking at the Fantastics, Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton, who you will see in wrestling action next week right here on Channel 39 Gold.
Well, you know, Pete, I'll tell you, it's always a pleasure for the Fantastics to come out here and talk to all the great people throughout the Texas area, and especially right here in Houston. You know, like we said, coming up later on next week, the Fantastics are going to appear live right on that screen. We just want to say one thing. When we go into that ring, each and every time, we go in there in dedication to those great wrestling fans out there. I'd like to say something to all my people in Spanish. Hola, mis amigos, mucho gusto. Hasta aquí, necesitamos su apoyo, el campeón de la gente. You know, Mr. Burkholz, Bobby and myself, when we come down here to Houston, man, we love all these great people, just like Bobby said, because the world's wrestling fans, Houston is #1 right here in our book. You know, it's like a second home to us, Mr. Burkholz. You know, Bobby and myself got these UWF titles. It's been a long, hard road for us. You know, I'm sure anybody can relate to it out there that's worked hard for anything, has worked hard for a raise or worked hard for a pat on the back saying, you've done a great job. Well, Bobby and myself have worked hard too. We know how you all work hard out there, and we're just looking forward to supporting us for these belts because we're going to hold on to them for a long, long time.
So the UWF Tag Team Champions, the Fantastics, will see wrestling action next week right on here in Houston Wrestling on Channel 39 Gold. Remember, we're back at our regular time next weekend, Don't miss the Fantastics. Don't forget, next weekend, Houston Wrestling returns to its regular time right here on Channel 39 Gold, 10 p.m. Saturday night and 10 a.m. Sunday morning. If you're watching us for the first time, join us because we're going to have plenty of great wrestling action, including Ted DiBiase, who you're looking at right now, up against Kamala, the Ugandan warrior.
Well, Pete, that's an awful big order. Kamala, Ugandan warrior. Everybody knows this man is a savage. He's up over 300 pounds. He's very strong, and he's not a wrestling technician as I'm noted for being. He's just a wild man that likes to go out and beat people up. Everybody knows the history of Skandor Akbar and myself, that at one time I was in his stable. The man paid me a lot, and in the years that I was around him, I was going off in a completely another direction and didn't care about anything but myself. And I've come back around. I've got pride in myself again. I've got the people's support behind me again, and everybody saw the man offer me $25,000 to join him again, and I beat him at his own game. I asked him to make it $50,000. He thought he'd suckered me in, and the final shot was one of these right to Kamala's jaw. But I've got to face him again. But knowing that I've got to face Kamala's the bait. Kamala's a great big piece of bait for Skandor Akbar. Because I want to get my hands on you again, Akbar, because I know you're going to stick your nose in there. And once and for all, show you and all these people what you really are. I think to pack your bags and send you back to wherever you're from. Like the song says, born in the USA, brother. And that's the way I feel about it. And I've always got a little insurance handy when I need it. And you know that I'm not beyond using it. Right here next week, Pete, Kamala and Skandor Akbar. They're mine. Here's the ticket.
So don't miss. Ted DiBiase up against Kamala right here on Houston Wrestling Channel 39 Gold. Remember, we're back at our regular time, 10 p.m. Saturday night till midnight, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. till noon. We hope to see all of you here at the Coliseum on Friday, July 11th, and we hope you tune us in next weekend right here on Houston Wrestling Channel 39 Gold. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is back, and you've never looked better. Hacksaw, welcome back to Houston Wrestling action, and on Friday, July 11th, you get the man you've been aiming for, one-man gang.
Man I've been aiming for, Friday, July 11th, he better worry about a few other things, like mainly that I'm not driving down to the 7-Eleven to buy myself a big gulp, and I look across the parking lot, and I see the one-man gang. Because, tough guy, let me tell you something. I don't care if it's in the Houston Coliseum. I don't care if it's right back here in the alleyway with all the police officers. And I don't care if it's out back in the parking lot. You're not going to wrestle, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You're not going to come out here and shoot some duck unders and shoot some go-behinds and do those fancy kind of tricks. Because, tough guy, that's not the kind of match this is. The kind of match this is going to be, make no mistake about it, and old Hacksaw Jim Duggan will be back there in the dressing room, and when they ring that bell, I'm going to kick open that dressing room door. I'm going to be snorting snot. I'm going to be spitting. I'm going to be snapping. I'm going to be biting. I'm going to come down to this ring, and one-man gang, I'm going to kick your butt, tough guy.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan gets his hands on one-man gang Friday, July 11th.
And that just reminds me one other thing. Skandor Akbar! 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 Stick your nose in it too, please, tough guy.
So that's Jim Duggan, and when he speaks, we should listen because Duggan is primed and ready to even the score with the one-man gang Friday, July 11th. We'll hope you're making your plans to be here in the Coliseum.
The world today is a world of progress and poverty, triumph and tragedy, hope and frustration. Why this paradox? You can know the answer. Watch The World Tomorrow.
The World Tomorrow is seen Saturday at 7:30 a.m. on KHTV, Channel 39.
That cool, refreshing feeling of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum puts a sparkle in your eye, a spring in your step, and makes things lots of fun.
It's that little lift from Wrigley's Spearmint Gum. It's that little lift. Come on and get you some.
That clean, fresh taste Wrigley's Spearmint's got. That little lift that means a lot.
It's that little lift Wrigley Spearmint Gum.
We're stuck, pal. We need help.
Beautiful.
Is there a mechanic in the house?
There ain't no choice. It's Pepsi in the USA. It's Pepsi in the USA. And there ain't no choice. It's Pepsi in the USA. It's Pepsi in the USA. It's Pepsi in the USA.
Folks, this message is just for children. What I'm asking you to do is come out, bring the folks, and come visit the Texas Flea Market. We've got every kind of toy and game imaginable, and we look forward to having the kids and everybody just having a great time. Ask Mom and Dad to bring you out. We're at 7100 North Freeway, just 3 miles north of the Little York exit, and we've got it all. Video games to toys, you name it, and I guarantee you it's not going to hurt Mom and Dad's pocketbook. 7100 I-45 North.
Are bad brakes sneaking up on you? If it's been 20,000 miles or a year since you've had your brakes checked, then you're overdue. Putting off your car's brakes can be costly. So come to Brake Check. We'll check your car's brakes, steering, and suspension free. We not only check it free, we do it right, and that makes a difference. So get a free brake check at Brake Check before it's too late.
Michael Hayes, I've had enough of your lies. I didn't write you no apology letter. That's a lie. You know it, and I know it. And I'm not going to waste my 22 cents on a stamp to send a letter to a sissy like you.
And you've always got something to say. Well, I've got something to say, and I think all the people here will agree with me. I think the PS stands for Prissy Sissy.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting hour of the Universal Wrestling Federation. I'm Jim Ross, and along with Freebird Michael Hayes.
P.S. Hayes.
Michael P.S. Hayes will be describing the action, ladies and gentlemen. And before we talk about the hour, I think the fans, I said this one time before, that PS can stand for a lot of things. Obviously, you have your definition of what PS stands for in your own mind.
Everybody else does too. They're just afraid to admit it.
The fans here is pretty unanimous. Prissy Sissy seems to be prevalent throughout.
No. Everybody knows it's purely sexy. That broad is crazy about me. She just can't admit it. And DiBiase, you're starting something, boy, that you're going to be sorry about. You just mark my words. But there's a lot coming up. We got 2 title matches,
Two championship matches, ladies and gentlemen. Terry Taylor will defend the television title against a newcomer named called the Libyan. We'll also see Steve Dr. Death Williams get the biggest opportunity in his career ever as he goes against Terry Bam Bam Gordy for the UWF Heavyweight Championship. You're going to see Cowboy Bill Watts against Korchenko with some very special stipulations.
If he wins, he gets Eddie Gilbert.
Yes, sir.
5 minutes, and I'll tell you what, you won't see that on any other wrestling program in the world.
And you will see the missing link against Jack Victory. That and so much more in this hour. It's going to be one of the most power-packed lineups we've ever been able to bring you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll be keeping you updated on a lot of big events in the Universal Wrestling Federation area. So right now, I think we're ready. Let's go to the ring in our first match.
I'm sexy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match for the UWF television title, the challenger from Libya at 270 pounds, the Libyan. Introducing the current UWF television champion from Vero Beach, Florida at 235 pounds, Terry Taylor. This match, 1 fall or 10-minute time limit.
You know, Jim Ross, I really don't feel Terry Taylor deserves that belt. You know, and I know that Buddy had him beat just a couple weeks here ago on UWF television, and I think it's hypocrisy and it's a blatant ripoff. That Buddy Roberts should be out there defending the belt right now.
Well, Terry Taylor is still the champion. If you hadn't got on the ring apron, Buddy Roberts might have been the champion.
Well, if the referee would have done his job, I wouldn't have had to go out there.
Terry Taylor, one of the supreme athletes in professional wrestling today, ladies and gentlemen, the current UWF television champion.
It was a clean break by the Libyan.
And he is a big man, Michael. First time we have seen him here on the UWF, a big man. This should be about 275, maybe 280.
Yes, he does. And there he goes. Got the headlock. Taylor shoots him off. Shoulder snap. Boom. Well, he used 275 pounds of that weight to knock him down, didn't he? You know, this UWF is so hot, Jim Ross. You see everybody coming in from all parts of the world, from all parts of the states, and this Libyan is just one example. Everybody wants that TV title because it's so prestigious. Well, Terry Taylor doesn't deserve it.
Well, that's your opinion, obviously, but he is a phenomenal athlete.
Okay,
Taylor
here we go.
out. Test of strength here.
Yes, top wrist lock, both men. I would think that the Libyan would have him here over the weight advantage, but Taylor's hanging tough. Now, see, there you go. Strength. Now, what all them little girls think about that, huh? What do they think about that pretty little Terry Taylor now when he meets a man?
Well, he's got a lot more positive attributes than just raw power.
Well, it takes more than that to be a pro wrestler, but, oh, beautiful move. Beautiful move, backward suplex up. The Libyan grabbed a headlock, and Taylor showed right away that he knows a little bit of wrestling. Shoots him into the ropes. Drop kick, on him right on the chin. Right on the chin. The momentum is switched. Snap mare. Like Taylor's setting up for something. Knee drop right to the head. Right to the head. He hooked the leg. 1, 2. Nope, not enough.
Powerful man, the Libyan.
Sure is. Powerful man. He's back up. A lot of guys that needed the head would have took him out. And now the Libyan, a big forearm across the chest. There's another one. I like it. Pound him. Now he's working the gut. See, people are listening to my commentary. The wrestlers are knowing. Work for that air. Take it out of them. They can't breathe. They can't move. They can't move. They can't win. Good turnbuckle. He charged up. Whoa!
Terry Taylor caught the big man coming in. Taylor now firing back with right hand.
Big high backdrop. He better keep that big man on the mat. It's a mistake picking him up. Going for a suplex here. I don't know if he's got the strength for it. I doubt it. He did it. Suplexed him.
There's a lot of top challenges for Terry Taylor's championship, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Hayes, one man, the man here with me.
Reversal. Libyan went leapfrog by Taylor. Oh, there's that forearm. He's going for it. There's that forearm. 2, 3. Doc's on it.
He calls it the 5-arm. And Terry Taylor victorious. And still the UWF television champion. He is sensational. There you see him, Terry Taylor.
Now there's a sissy. You ask me, that's a sissy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back. The Universal Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship will be on the line when we come back.
If you have an auto accident without liability insurance, who pays? You do. If you're ticketed for no insurance, who pays? You do. The people at Amtex offer liability and full coverage auto insurance at low rates, low down payments, and monthly terms, no matter what driving record, age, or vehicle. Be sure to ask about their express same-day SR22 service. 5 Houston locations. Call now for a free quote and Amtex office nearest you.
I can afford to buy my video stereo equipment anywhere, but I don't. I buy them from Mad Max.
AM/FM in-dash digital car cassette player from $39. Car graphic equalizer 7-band 200 watts of power, $19. FM stereo headphones, a $50 value for $9.99. Walkabouts, your choice from $9.99. Complete TIAC high-power home stereo system, don't pay $1,000. Get it for $399. Dynamic home speakers, $25 each. FM radio sunglasses, this week only $19.
I'm Larry Holmes. Buy your stereo equipment from the Stereo Warehouse. Any other deal is no big deal.
Unthinkable, unthinkable.
The unsinkable taste of Cheerios. Not a lot of sugar to weigh down those Cheerios. Look how they float. No keeping them down, so he can't. Even he can't. You can't sink the unsinkable taste of Cheerios. Not a lot of sugar to weigh down those Cheerios. The unsinkable taste of Cheerios.
My name is Larry Littleton, an attorney with the firm of Littleton in Sherborne. If you've been hurt on the job or involved in an accident, then consider this. At Littleton in Sherborne, there's never a charge for consultation. Second, we concentrate only on personal injury and workers' compensation cases. Third, the firm consists of 7 attorneys and 16 staff members. We have the personnel and resources to handle the claim quickly and efficiently. So give us a call, 229-9898.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to see the UWF Heavyweight Championship on the line in just a few moments. But just moments ago, we got some comments from Steve Dr. Death Williams and Terry Bam Bam Gordy. Let's hear what they had to say right before the matchup.
Boy, this is the big one. This is the big one. This is the one I've been training for. The one I've been running and sweating on that road. The UWF belt. It's just like the Nationals when I went for the #1. I'm coming to the ring, and I'm prepared. I've been running and sweating and building up those muscles. Terry Gordy, you're going to find out how tough I am. I want everybody out there to take a good look at this title right here. This is the highest paid title in the world. All the major guys all over the world are wanting a shot at this title. Dr. Death, you just happen to be first in line. You're going to get your chance. I don't think anybody from Oklahoma is big enough and good enough to take this title, especially somebody that calls herself Doc. After I get through with you, Doc, you're going to be eliminated.
Well, there it is. Dr. Death, this is the dream match of his lifetime. He's never held a major title, and now he's going for the biggest one, the Universal Heavyweight title against my brother. You notice I'm right here beside the gym room commentating. I'm not down there in his corner. He won it on his own. He needs nobody to help him defeat Dr. Death.
Well, I hope, Michael, we can take you at your word, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Death Steve Williams, you heard the comments. He is more than ready to go. Against Terry Bam Bam Gordy, the match of Dr. Death's lifetime is about to take place here in the Tulsa Convention Center.
From Morton, Oklahoma, at 270 pounds, Steve Dr. Death Williams.
Dr. Death Steve Williams, what a phenomenal athlete. Remember, it's for the UWF Heavyweight Championship as we get the introductions out of the way. This match, 1 fall or television time remaining. And this is what, well, I'll tell you. Right here on the UWF, there you see Big Bam Bam Terry Gordy,
There's
Dr.
that
Death Steve
beautiful
Williams.
belt. And you have to give my brother credit for wrestling for the title right here in Oklahoma, right in Dr. Death's backyard. It could have been in Atlanta. It could have been in our backyard. Whoa! He shoved it back. I think I've seen his right hand in Bam Bam's hair.
Well, I don't, you're probably the only person here, Michael. These several thousand did see that.
Yeah, well, they don't look as closely as I do. See, that's why I'm so intelligent. That's why I'm where I'm at, and that's why that's where they're at. There he goes, headlock, shoots him up. Boom! Now who's so big and bad? There you go, Bam Bam, good shoulder smash. That's like 2 Sherman tanks meeting each other. Up they go, Dr. Death, pick him up.
Whoa! He picked up, he's 295, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, and the good Dr. He just catapulted, shot put him out across the ring.
Man, that'll jar your lower back, I'll tell you what.
Look at that man. Look at the eyes on that man. Yes, sir, he is ready.
Well, he better be ready because this is his only shot. Once he gets beat, that's it. Just like the rest of them. You know, everybody only gets one chance to see the top of that mountain. Then you got to fall down. And after he gets through, he'll see the fall. He's got the headlock here.
Dr. Death Steve Williams never gained the North American title. He has never held a major singles title like the UWF Heavyweight Championship or North American Heavyweight Championship, but he is ready.
Hey, there you go. Now, that was a blatant hair pull. He held onto the hair. Bam Bam went to shoot him off out of the headlock. Here it is again. Same thing. Now look at that. Referee's doing nothing. I guess that's how the Sooners like to play football, huh? I guess Dr. Death looks at this like when he was in the Orange Bowl, huh?
Sometimes you got to do whatever it takes, Michael. Now,
nobody knows that better than me, but that is illegal, and Gilbert's doing nothing about it, and it's still, I bet, got to do with his repent for his measly son. There's a good knee, legal knee, right to the gut. Another good one.
He's on the ropes. The referee had to break this situation. Bam Bam with a clubbing right hand to Dr. Death.
Fires him into the ropes, goes for an elbow. He missed it. Dr. Death with a power. Oh, a press slam. Now that's some strength. That's 295 pounds, but he's holding the trucks. See, he's holding the trucks. Yep, just like an Oklahomian. Takes a shortcut.
The 4-time All-American for the University of Oklahoma, Bam Bam. There you see him. Hard to the canvas.
there's already 2 reasons I've seen for disqualification. He held onto the hair twice, now picked him up for a slam with the trunks. You can't deny it, and nobody out there can.
Well, that's not grounds for disqualification.
It is in my book.
goodness, well, your book doesn't count. You don't have the striped shirt on. Dr. Death, number 76 for the Sooners, backs Bam Bam Gordy into that corner.
All right, see, Dr. Death isn't breaking. Gilbert's taking his time counting. Good, that's what you get. Whoa! Exchange your price. You go in for a turnbuckle. Gordy reversed it. Clothesline. Beautiful. Caught him right up on that chin. Completely legal.
Whether it's the clothesline, the Oriental Spike, which is deadly, I might add, or the pile driver, the Bam Bam Slam, he's got it all.
That's why he is the world champion of the universe. Going for a suplex here. That power suplex he learned in Japan. Yeah. And he's got Dr. Death reeling. This could be it. Terry grabbed that leg. Should have grabbed that leg.
Lateral press by Terry Gordy, but Dr. Death's in phenomenal condition, as you can easily see.
You've got to hook that leg. Come on, Bam Bam. You know that. That's basic. Good right hand. He's got Dr. Death reeling. Come on, another one. Boom. Yeah. He's got him now. Come on, Terry, grab the leg. 2, 3. See, he's got too much upper body strength. I'm going to have to talk to Terry about that.
It may be too late because this is for the Universal Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
That's all right. He's
one
got
of the
him
leading
going.
contenders, Dr. S.D. Williams, is in deep trouble now at the hands of the champion.
Man broke the, look at that. Now you want to talk about strength. Shot him in and broke the turnbuckle. Broke the turnbuckle. Well, that's 2 studs, baby.
You can expect the unexpected on the Universal Wrestling
He's got it covered. That should be it. 2. Come on, that was 3. That was 3.
And it's not like they do in basketball. If you break a goal, they're just going to keep on going.
This is wrestling, baby. No pads, no nothing. Hard-earned, sheer guts. I see the ring crews out there trying to fix it. By the time this match gets over, they may have the whole ring torn down. Headbutt by Bam Bam.
He's a walking weapon, the UWF champion, and Dr. Death has got to mount some type of attack here. Dr. Death with a headbutt of his own.
To the gut there, but it looked a little low to me. There goes Terry, another suplex to finish him. Dr. Death blocked it. Reversed it. Come on, Terry, get up. Come on, baby, get up. Come on. He's got more in him than Dr. Death.
Well, that's debatable. Dr. Death buries the right hand deep into the midsection.
Illegal. Totally illegal. There's your right hand. Another illegal. Illegal. Come on. Come on, Bam Bam. Come on, man. Another right hand. Come on. Stop that. She should be disqualifying him. Snapmare. What's he going for? Went to the well one too many times.
Doc went to the headbutt. Bam Bam very alertly moved out of the way, and now taking back over on the attack is Gordy.
Beautiful. Could be it.
There's that crowd solidly behind Dr. S.D. Williams.
Terry backs him up in the turnbuckle. Goes for it. He reversed it. Dr. Death went full. He went for a spear. Yeah. Try that against the Georgia Bulldogs. See what happens, huh? Now, there you go. That's why he's the Universal Champion. He's hurt that neck, and he knows to stay on it. Stay where the animal's wounded. Run him back there again, Terry. Yeah.
Well, Dr. Death's got to have a 20-inch neck.
Yeah, but I don't care if it's a 30-inch neck. When you got Bam Bam bamming on you, and the momentum when he went for that spear. Uh-oh. He's setting up for the pile driver. This is it. I know it's going to be it. He's got him. Wait a minute. Hey! Hey! Under disqualification.
Ladies and gentlemen,
wait, that's a
it was not intentional. It was not intentional.
And I don't care. No, I'm going down there.
Look, you said you were going to sit here. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We'll be right back at this time out.
It's your life, so why not enjoy it? In a Gillingwater managed apartment. They're all around Houston with beautiful settings, around-the-clock maintenance, great leisure facilities, and a wide choice of floor plans with the latest custom features. Gillingwater has adult and family apartments from $175 a month. And here are some of the many fine Gillingwater properties. Call now at 568-2121. 568-2121. Someone is standing by to answer your questions. Gillingwater Properties, where living is full of life.
Your home can look as beautiful as this for only $49 a month, thanks to Southwest Builders and their Reynolds aluminum siding sale. Call now at 2337 and receive a free steel garage door with your deluxe siding job. We offer discounts to senior citizens and have the lowest financing available with no down payment. That's right, no down payment and only $49 a month. And we now install new roofs for the same low price. Southwest Builders, your only choice in home improvement. Call 681-2337.
Pick your part, our name says it all. That's just what you'll do.
Pick Your Part self-service auto wrecking, where you serve yourself and save. Automatic transmission, $50. V8 engines, $115. Pick Your Part auto wrecking. Call 224-1691.
Pick your part out, pick your part from all cars. Straight to you. Pick your part.
Smoking is no laughing matter. If you want to smoke, that's your business. But if you want to stop, don't hide. We can help you stop smoking with Cigarest, but only if you pick up your phone and call this toll-free number now. With the Cigarest plan, you get the strongest non-prescription formula today to help stop smoking forever, with no shocks, no shots, no scare tactics, and no cold turkey. Pick up the phone and call now.
Well, we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and quite obviously Michael Hayes is at ringside. He said he was not going to leave the ring. The match is going to continue because it obviously was not intentional. And remember, this for the UWF Heavyweight Championship. Bam, bam, and the Doctor throws him all the way up. And almost over once again, and Dr. Death is on fire. The great All-American from Oklahoma University. He knows it's on the line, and Bam Bam catches him coming in with a kick to the solar plexus. Michael Hayes now is dangerous. He's coaching at ringside. Hayes is on a different plane than most, but there you see, there's Cowboy Bill Watts. Dr. Steve Williams' mentor, and Watts is now going to the ring. Things are definitely even now. The big cowboy from Bixby, Oklahoma, encouraging his protege, encouraging Dr. Death. And Dr. Death with a clothesline. These two phenomenal athletes have hammered and hammered each other for the UWF Heavyweight Championship. And the Doctor's back on his feet. And it is a dogfight. Williams, Dr. Death with a tremendous tackle. And it took not only Gordy out, but the referee. There's Cowboy Bill Watts circling to get Tommy Gilbert back up in the ring. Bam Bam has taken a pounding from the Doctor. What a tackle. He is awesome. What an awesome athlete is Dr. Death. And Michael Hayes has tripped Dr. Death on the outside.